Good morning, SOAR. Good morning, Corbin. My name is Terry Gray, and I'm here today to represent One Clay County, a group that was formed in 2022. But before I get to that, I just want to highlight a few things. So I'm going to start with a quote and end with a quote. And you wouldn't think a guy from Clay County would be quoting Nelson Mandela, but my quote this morning is, "It always seems impossible until it is done." So if you think about that, it always seems impossible until it is done. So the journey of One Clay County is a little bit about the journey of Clay County itself. So I'm going to go back to 2013 and tell you about Vaughn Grisham. Those of you that don't know Vaughn Grisham, he is a renowned community development from Mississippi. He has worked on community development projects in actually 34 states. He came to Clay County in 2013 and he said this: if you don't do something, your town is going to die. I see Vanda back there, and I was in that meeting with you, Vanda. If you don't do something, your town is going to die. The next year, we were lucky enough to have the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times come in and write an article about Clay County that rated us as the worst place in America to live. And what that article did or didn't do, it just used data points. It didn't talk to the people, get to the heart, and as Josh and Kobe like to talk about, the grit of Eastern Kentucky, our work ethic. So what came out of those two meetings was a few things. Stay in Clay, which is a group formed by Vanda Rice and Margie Miller. They have been doing phenomenal work in our community. Everything from community plays to community cleanups. And then we also have from that Boo Smith. I'm not sure if Boo Smith is here, Cross Mountain Campground. If you really want to talk about getting grants and doing things, when you go to an ARC convention and you know if they use that individual to highlight you about the phases, they're already talking about Boo's phase 2, phase 3. It's critical that you know how you're going to evaluate your success and how you're going to convey that success. And the last group that I want to highlight is Project Hope. That started with Danielle Collins going on her morning walks and getting tired of seeing trash. That group has now merged with Stay in Clay, and they are a force. Their most recent project is doing what they call making a difference one bed at a time. They partnered with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and they are doing phenomenal work. But that's when things really started to change in 2019, 2020. So if you think about, I didn't even realize I didn't have my slide forwarded. So if you think about that period, 2019, 2020, that was a time that the employment and the population projections were coming out for Clay County and Eastern Kentucky. You think about Eastern Kentucky, those population projections had just about every county east of 75 and south of 64, the Mountain Parkway, with the population decrease. Some of those population decreases were in excess of 40%, and that was actually pre-flooding. So that's when Senate President Stivers, SOAR, Josh, and Kobe got together and really started thinking about what can we do to change our community. So with that, SOAR formed their first ever SOAR Manchester position. It wasn't a position that we went to SOAR and said, hey, give us this position. We had community partners, VOA, Advent Health, who actually brought money to the table to hire that position. And another quote, and I'm going to quote this one from Senate President Stivers when we first hired that position. This isn't about me. This isn't about politics. It's about making our town, our county, and our region a better place to live and to provide more opportunities for future generations. That position, slowly over time, led to the formation of 1CC. 1CC is made up of 7 board members, 2 advisors, and our 2 project managers. And I'm going to highlight quickly some of those projects, but a quick thing about our 1CC board. We may not seem that old, but we have a combined almost 300 years of experience between those individuals. So with that, I'm going to get quickly into some of the projects that we're working on. Top left is going to be downtown development. So those of you that know, sometimes you have to start anew, tear down to start those projects that you really want to do. But part of that, I mentioned 2019, 2020 were key years for us. You see that historic district distinction. Another critical partner is Mike White with our Clay County Historical Society. In 2020, he started work on making downtown Manchester a national historic district. And that was officially announced in 2023. He was able to get 52 downtown structures listed as National Historic Buildings. Going down to some other things that our group has done, flood relief through our local regional partners, raised over $400,000, served 260 individuals and homes, and had over 11,000 volunteer hours for the flooding impact of 2022. I could probably spend all day talking about the next area, which is regional partnerships. And if we leave with anything today, I think finding those people in the room who can be your change agents, your partners for making a difference. We started out in Corbin with Mayor Susie and Bruce. They have been phenomenal partners for us. We continue to meet with them. One of the projects that came from those meetings with Mayor Susie and Bruce, we're talking about a Corbin Scholar House project. Next, we went to Knox County with Judge Mitchell, and then we also had Mayor Collins and Judge Harmon in Clay County host us. Our next meeting will be in November with Judge Mosley in Harlan County. But what I'll say about those regional partnerships is they are critical. We have a 1cc table here at SOAR, so I would highly recommend come by the table. Let us chat with you about how we might be able to partner together. Top left, behind me, the Advent VOA building. Two of our critical partners for 1cc would be Advent Health and VOA. I know Jennifer Hancock is here with VOA in the back. I know we have our project managers, David and Brian here. But what they have done since coming to southeastern Kentucky in 2018, 2019, VOA has invested almost $26 million and ended up with employing almost 70 individuals from their work. Advent Health, during the time of COVID and shutdowns and other things, over the last 5 years, they've actually invested over $40 million in our community. So if you have a local hospital, a local partner, reach out to them, do what you can to make them part of your community and woven into that. Probably one of the most important things that I think all of us talk about is changing the narrative of our communities. And that's probably the hardest thing to do. We're all so proud of our community. We want it to be the spotlight. But to change the narrative, you not only have to change how your individuals within your community feel, you have to change how others view you at the state, local, and national level. So some of the projects, and it comes over taking ownership, community pride, beautification. I wish we have some projects that I could announce to you today, but we can't do that. And I think in the coming months, you're going to hear more about those projects. And then real quickly, looking forward, those big announcements in the urban-rural divide. In some of those regional meetings, we were lucky enough to have a group from Louisville come chat with us. And here's the thing. There's not a lot of difference. Louisville, their top areas of need, healthcare, childcare, jobs, health, safety, broadband. Those are the same issues that we're facing in Eastern Kentucky. And because of those regional partnerships, we are now looking at those groups to see what they're doing. Can we implement some of that? into our event. So again, the quote I started with, it always seems impossible until it is done. I would say that Jennifer Hancock, Vanda Rice, other ones in the room, again, it may seem impossible, but we always find a way to get it done. So I thank you. Stop by our 1CC table. We'd love to chat with you about how we can partner with you.